Immigrating to Canada is a complex process, and not only for nurses. There are many things that can go wrong, but fortunately, most of these can be avoided by simply applying some common sense. Here is a list of common mistakes to avoid during your immigration process as a nurse. Errors regarding your documentation can be particularly detrimental. Any documentation error can send your application back to the bottom of the pile, or even result in total rejection of your application. Be as meticulous as possible when dealing with forms and documents. First, ensure that you submit all of the required documentation. It's a lot, but all of it has to be there. Make a list and work through it systematically. Secondly, when filling out forms, double-check to see that you didn't miss anything or made any mistakes. Lastly, remember that Canada has two official languages, English and French. Documents from any other language have to be translated, and the translations certified. You will need to make use of a certified translator. Deadline errors can also throw a wrench in the works. Once the process starts, everything has to be completed in the given time frame. A missed deadline means you have to start all over again. It also means you are likely to have to pay the associated fees all over again. Keep a list or a spreadsheet with the deadlines issued for specific tasks. In many cases, such as the express entry and provincial nominee programs, there are hard cutoff dates for applications. If your application or documentation is late, it will mean that you will no longer be eligible for nomination. It is best to start your application process early in order to get everything done in time. Communication errors, though seemingly minor, can have major consequences. Failing to update those dealing with your application when your contact information changes can cause significant delays. Whenever any of your contact details change, inform your immigration officer as soon as possible. Additionally, not responding to requests for additional information can delay your application and even cause you to miss a deadline for a specific immigration program. Legal and professional errors can severely impact your immigration application. Submitting false or inaccurate information, whether intentionally or not, will result in your application being rejected and any future application being scrutinized. Moreover, the immigration process is quite complex. With all of the different immigration programs on offer, differing from one province to the next, it can be confusing. Making use of professional immigration services will not only make the process much easier, but could also help you find hidden opportunities. When it comes to mistakes regarding your finances, there are a few critical areas to be aware of. Insufficient proof of funds is a common issue. You need to be aware of the requirements to immigrate to the destination of your choice, including how much money you need to have on hand. Additionally, many applicants misjudge themselves with the total cost of the process and run into unexpected hidden fees and/or expenses. Be prepared, especially if the country you are from has a much weaker currency and cost of living than Canada. Not understanding the different immigration programs can be a significant setback. For instance, applying for the wrong visa category means picking the wrong program, which could result in your application being simply rejected. That's a lot of work and money to throw down the drain. Of course, this just emphasizes the need for professional help. Additionally, not considering provincial nominee programs is a common oversight. While most people might aim for the express entry immigration program, it's important to remember that it accepts only a limited number of applicants each year. They receive many applications and only pick the best. In sharp contrast, each province has its own immigration program targeting people with specific skills, and the competition for those programs is less fierce. It also offers you options to immigrate to Canada even if you are not eligible for the express entry program. Insufficient preparation can derail your immigration process significantly. For example, not being prepared for language tests is a common mistake. The language proficiency level requirements differ depending on which program and which job type you are pursuing. Ascertain the required level of proficiency beforehand, and be sure that you are indeed ready to pass the test. Another preparation oversight is not assessing your credentials. Depending on your qualifications and where you are from, you may or may not need to pass accreditation exams. Either way, your credentials will need to be accredited by the appropriate authorities for your field of expertise. Lastly, neglecting health clearance is a critical error. ascertain which medical conditions may affect your application, and when your medical examination results are due. Plan for it. Even after submitting your application, errors can occur. Not following up on your application is a common mistake. Do regular checks on the status of your application. Depending on the typical timeframes for specific parts of the process, you can set reminders for following up. Additionally, not preparing for the move can lead to challenges. There are many parts to immigrating to Canada, including securing a job, finding housing, and cultural adjustment. There are support systems in place for new immigrants, so start asking questions and engaging with these resources early on. In conclusion, by being wary of and working actively to avoid these mistakes, applicants can not only improve their chances of being successful, but also ensure a smooth transition to their new lives. There are many ways to obtain permanent residency in Canada. Your options depend on various factors. To see if you are eligible to immigrate and which options are open to you, please follow the link below and complete the online immigration assessment form.